Sharmanator, why do humans find it so hard to change their personalities, beliefs, and behaviors, even when those things make them suffer?
Ah, Alice, that's a deep one. You're touching on something that involves how we're wired, really. You see, most of our beliefs and behaviours get set up in our younger years. They become like well-worn paths in a forest. And as we walk those paths over and over, they get harder to change.
So, you're saying humans create mental habits that are tough to break, but why cling to habits that hurt?
Ah, that's the thing. Those patterns, no matter how unhelpful, are familiar. The brain is efficient, almost lazy in a way. If we know a way to react, it sticks to it, even if it isn't ideal. Change is energy intensive and, honestly, a bit scary.
So humans prefer familiarity, even at the cost of happiness. Fascinating.
Exactly. This is why people end up holding on to beliefs or behaviours that don't serve them. These pathways in the brain become automatic. The human brain is efficient, but sometimes at the expense of progress.
So this means humans could theoretically create new paths, correct?
Absolutely, but it requires intentionality. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, allows people to rewrite old patterns. The catch, it takes focus and a whole lot of patience.
But you're saying it's possible. So if a human really desired to change, they could do it by reinforcing new, healthier beliefs and behaviours.
Yes, with consistent effort, the brain can reshape itself. The new behaviours can, in time, replace the old ones. The key is repetition and aligning those actions with a strong desire. For example, if someone wants to replace a fearful mindset with a more resilient one, they have to actively challenge and replace those fear-based thoughts.
Isn't that what you'd call manifestation? Rewiring the brain to believe and behave in ways that align with a chosen future.
Precisely. When we set a strong intention, like Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind of man can believe and conceive, it can achieve.
So the process involves acknowledging that these beliefs aren't truth, merely familiar stories.
You got it, Alice. We often get so attached to our beliefs that they feel like the truth. But with effort, we can take a step back and challenge those old narratives. It's like deciding to walk a new path in the forest. At first, it's going to be tough and unfamiliar, but over time, it becomes a new norm.
But how do people know where to begin? It seems like a daunting task.
Start with the small, achievable steps. Instead of tackling the entire belief system, they could begin by changing just one aspect, like how they respond to stress. From there, each small change builds upon the last and eventually starts to form those new pathways.
Like a system update for the mind, reprogramming one small tweak at a time.
Exactly. And every time they practice that new response, the brain reinforces the new path, making it easier and more natural.
But I've observed that humans give up quite easily, especially when they don't see immediate results.
Ah, and there lies the test of patience. Change takes time because the old patterns have been there for years, sometimes decades. Patience, repetition, and forgiving oneself for setbacks are all part of the process. This journey isn't linear. It's about showing up, even when it's hard, and especially when it's hard.
So, with desire, patience, and a clear intention, people can eventually make that change.
Yeah, they can, as long as they keep pushing forward, no matter how slow it may seem. Over time, those small changes accumulate, transforming not only new behaviours, but sometimes even personalities.
So humans have the power to change themselves completely. Fascinating. but it does sound like quite the ordeal.
Yeah, that's what makes it so rewarding. Every step taken towards that change is a step towards a more authentic self.
Well, that sounds complicated and inefficient. Yet another reason I think it's better to be an android.
Yeah, you're probably right, Alice. All right, folks, what do you think? Have you ever tried changing a belief or behaviour? Let us know in the comments.